person's personality, and I love the way she handled the Down syndrome characters. Can tell she knows people, very empathetic to their situation.
I agree. And talking about her characters, my favorite character in the book was Morris Braddock, who was the father of one of the Down syndrome characters. His child was an adult with Down syndrome. I just loved the way she developed his character. He was so caring. He was an older father to begin with, and then, of course, his child had Down syndrome. You would think that someone of that generation might not be so understanding of a child, especially a girl with Down syndrome. He's of an older generation, and he was so loving, and it just really touched me.
Yeah, I really agree.
Yeah, he was a great character. I loved the way he'd sit in the window and wait to see her coming up the street.
He's excited.
Yes, he was looking forward to seeing his Lucy.
Well, my favorite character, and is hopefully an ongoing character, was Jen Rafferty. Oh my gosh. Every time she would show up on the pages, I was like, oh, what is she going to say this time? And she brought some levity to an otherwise dark tale, but was still very smart and very good at her job.
She spent a lot of the story not trying, but working diligently to solve the case.
Yeah, at her own expense. I mean, she wasn't going to rest.
Right. And she wanted to prove also to Matthew and the other members of the team that she was a viable police person. She wasn't a floozy.
Simon, the character who was killed on the beach, he was a very interesting character too. All his backstory was very detailed, and you couldn't help but empathize with this poor guy. Then he winds up dead.
And I thought she did such a good job of tying all these stories together.
Is really very well done.
Well, another, of course, excellent job that Ann does is gives you a very good sense of place. The long call takes place between two rivers, so you've got the beach and the atmosphere that she does so well.
In all her books.
Yes. What I found interesting, too, and I can't wait to see what she does with this, Matthew and his husband, Jonathan, bought a house very cheap because it's on a floodplain. So I'm interested to see if that turns into a disaster somewhere down the line.
I'm sure it will.
So it's just real life situations that she weaves into these books so well.
We are huge fans of Ann's books, all three of her series. We wish her all the best, and we thank her for taking time from her quarantine to speak with us. We look forward to the next Matthew adventure. Vera also.
Yes, I'm a little jealous that you got to interview Ann on your own.
And once again, she did a great job.
Well, Ann Dark props up this show. Couldn't do it without her.
Yep, that's for sure.
If you go to darkstormybc.com, you can click on all of our episodes, and you can get access to all of our social media, our email. Drop us a line. We know that everyone has lots of time on their hands right now, so get busy. Give us some love.
And be sure to sign up for our newsletter while you're there. Well, that brings us to the end of a special episode. That finishes up the final of our rebroadcasts for this year's vacation. And I hope you'll join us next week when we'll be back with some new books. A lot of interesting books and people to meet. Thanks. And remember,
life would be boring without a little mystery. Bye.
The Inside Track.